What's good, Ravens fans? Today I want to talk about what the Baltimore Ravens identity is on offense, because I think that we have some issues and I want to talk to you guys about it. Of course, I can't talk to John Harbaugh and Greg Roman, so I want you guys' opinion. What do you think our offensive identity should be? What is it? Let's jump in. So we know that in the past, the Ravens have always been a run-first team. We try to do this even when we had Joe Flacco, right? We tried to run the ball, play action pass, and that was the basis of our offense. When Lamar came, we even added a different dimension because now our quarterback could run for lots of yards, and our offensive run game was on a level that many teams in the NFL and many fans have never seen. We've set records for rushing touchdowns, we've set records for rushing yards, we set records for 100-yard rushing games consecutively. Lamar has set records for rushing the football in 100-yard games. He's set records for rushing the football 1,000 yards in the season several times. He's set so many records that we just automatically assume that the Ravens are going to be a rushing team, a running team first. When we get down in the situations where we need it, either the running backs could get it or we were going to run the ball with Lamar and he was going to get it. However, things are changing and things are changing quickly, and I don't know if the Ravens have adjusted yet to the new way of life that we are going to have to accept, is that we are not a different team than Josh Allen and the Bills, right? We're not a different team than Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We're not a different team than all these other teams that are quarterback first teams. We used to be, but we're not any longer. Our run game is not good enough to be dominant like it was in the past. We are going to need to do more and more relying on building a scheme around Lamar Jackson that's not a run first scheme. Now you guys might be saying, Jason, we are built around Lamar Jackson. Yes, but there were some issues that I had, especially during the Miami Dolphins game, which pointed to me that we need to take the full step. However, there's some things that are complicates. But let's just talk about things I saw. We had a couple of times in this game where it was 1 yard to get. We had it in the goal line situation, and we also had it on a 4th and 1. When this happens, many teams in the league try to run the ball, right? However, they don't run it 3 times in a row. The Ravens do. Even though we know we can't run the ball on anyone. We can't run the ball on 1st and 10 and get a yard. We can't run the ball on 3rd and 1 and get a yard. We can't run the ball on 2nd and a billion and get a yard, okay? We are not that good when it comes to running the football. However, it seems that the Ravens don't want to accept this. We're still going to try to push it in. We can't do it with Kenyon Drake. We can't do it with Mike Davis. We can't do it with Justice Hill. We cannot even do it with Lamar when the other team is loaded up in the box. We need to be like other teams and just give Lamar the ball in the shotgun passing situation and let him make quick decisions similar to what they do with players like Justin Herbert, similar to what they do with a Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the best example because his style is most similar to that of Lamar Jackson, where when he's in their goal line situation, that 1 yard situation, he can pass and run. It puts the defense in dire straits. What are you going to do? They never know. And remember, in goal line situation, you only need 1 yard, and so you're only asking for Lamar to make one person miss. That's all Lamar needs to do. That's why Josh Allen is so effective in goal line situations, because Josh Allen doesn't have to outrun 10 people to get an 80-yard touchdown when you're 2 yards away from the end zone. All he has to do is beat one player, and we all know that Lamar Jackson has the speed to do that, and he definitely has the move. Instead of trying to get Lamar Jackson to depend on his offensive line to get pushed, we need to depend on Lamar Jackson to make one person miss, which he's been doing his entire life. He's been doing it in high school, he did it in college, and now he's doing it in the NFL. However, we are so determined to be a run-first team, we are limiting Lamar Jackson when it comes to these goal line situations. Other teams do not do that, and we have to have a real conversation of what is our identity. Running the ball is important. I won't say it isn't. However, we have to prove we can run the ball. But if we do that, there's some questions we have to answer because it's going to be needed. The first question that we have to answer is, what do we do with Greg Roman? Greg Roman is here to scheme up running offenses. However, in the last 2 years, we have not been able to scheme up the run at all. The only runs that have been effective is Lamar Jackson. That's not scheme, that's natural ability. We need Greg Roman to look in the mirror and ask him, why are you not able to do these things from a scheme perspective? This is just something that we as a team have to understand. Because if Greg Roman can't get it done, there are definitely other offensive coordinators who can scheme up a better passing scheme and still have the same results we're currently getting in the running game. So that is something that we need to address. The second question that comes up when we start addressing our identity and seeing what we see in front of us, if our identity is going to be Lamar takes take the game over, which it has been the last 2 years, then we need to make a decision on how we're supporting Lamar Jackson. When we have a running team, we're thinking we're going to build our offensive line out and we're going to build out our running backs. And tight ends are going to be the main threat because we can run block and go out and pass routes. However, if we're going to depend on Lamar Jackson, maybe we need to address receiver at a premium, like other teams that are depending on their star quarterbacks to make plays and not their running game to make plays. Again, Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs. For the last couple of years, Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill. Many of the best quarterbacks in the league have star receivers that are the top receivers in the league. If we're going to change our identity, we need to address this. Now, I've talked about a lot of situations. I don't think the Ravens are there yet to give up on what their identity currently is, which is a run-first team. But it has to be said that running the football currently is not working. And it's important that we really hammer down on what is our identity, because that is what's going to lead us to where we need to go. Again, if your identity is running the ball, you have to do it well. And our identity is currently running the ball, but we do not do it well. That's why we went for it for 1 yard 3 separate times and didn't get a yard. If we put the ball in Lamar Jackson's, which is our true identity, in my opinion, I think we would have gotten that yard. If we gave Lamar Jackson 3 chances with the ball in his hand and shotgun, we would have gotten that yard. I truly believe that. So we need to address what our identity is as the Baltimore Ravens, and hopefully we will improve and become a better team. Because right now we're having a crisis of consciousness, whether we are a run first team or a quarterback first team. And we have to solve that if we're going to be great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think our identity is. And if you agree with me, thanks and go Ravens.